From the smallest to the biggest shrimp in the world, today we're cooking every exotic shrimp. Starting off with one of the most popular shrimp in the entire world, brown. And yes, these bad boys are live. But keep in mind, as the video progresses, the shrimp will not only get bigger, but also more exotic, until we get to an absolute beast that, for reference, is literally 100 times bigger than this little shrimp right here. Today we're gonna be cooking each type of shrimp two ways. First is a control that will all be cooked the same way, grilled over fire. The goal with our control cook process is to really compare the true taste of each shrimp. So starting with brown shrimp, seasoning simply with just salt and black pepper, then over the fire. Shrimp goes extremely well with butter, so just hitting it with a bit right before it's done. And there we have it, control shrimp number 1. And for the non-control, we have something extremely special planned for each. We're turning each shrimp into 13 of the most iconic shrimp dishes from around the world, starting with a trip to Japan, and this little guy you'll often find in a cup of ramen. And of course, gotta go for a taste on this thing. Tastes like a dried shrimp. Let's see if this works. Step 1, we need to humanely dispatch our shrimp. Thank you for your service. We'll whip out the dehydrator, keeping the shells on, which I hope will provide some additional flavor. I want these things completely bone dry, so I'll see you guys in a few days. It's Friday afternoon, I have my little weekend. Go to the beach, cook a steak, I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you on Monday. Well guys, happy Monday. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Let's check on these shrimp. Drying intensifies umami, perfect for building rich layered broths. Kind of crazy, but one dried shrimp equals 5 to 10x the savory punch as one fresh shrimp. You already know I gotta go for a bite. That is the strongest essence of shrimp flavor you could possibly have. It's very intense and kind of like a chip, but honestly, not bad. And with that, let's get started on the broth. We'll go in with our dried shrimp, and we'll continue with the umami bombs, adding in some kombu, some dried shiitake mushrooms, and some salt. Okay, it's been a few hours. I have to say, the smell of this broth is just intoxicating. It smells so good. I'm gonna finish off with just a little bit of soy sauce, and it should be good to go. Let's assemble. Start by going in with the ramen, pour over that delicious shrimp broth, finishing with some garnishes, a nice soft-boiled soy sauce egg and some seaweed, a few of those grilled shrimp, and finally some chili oil. And there it is, some beautiful homemade brown shrimp ramen. The only thing left to do is taste. I hope you guys are ready for shrimp.
I love shrimp.
I'm starving. Dude, where'd you even get these things? They're tiny.
Don't worry, Cal. I got a guy. Sophia, you kind of got to be careful around this guy. Just be chill. I got this. What's up, man?
What you want, bro?
You got that stuff I talked to you about?
Got everything you need. I got that white, I got that brown, I got that pink, I got that new stuff from Africa. Only if you can handle it.
How much for the whole thing?
18 pesos. Get out of here. I'm serious.
All right, let's just go, Sophia. Let's go, come on, quickly.
Oh, right.
So we have a control as well as a very exciting recipe for each type of shrimp. We'll start with the ramen. Guys, I want you to specifically taste the broth and let me know what you think of it.
Ooh, wow. It's like a clean seafood mushroom soup. It's really good.
It's such a clean broth with a nice hint of seafood. It's amazing.
I agree. It almost lacks that ramen punch that I'm used to. Now let's move on to the control. You guys eat the shell? I love eating the shell.
I love eating the shell.
Very fresh.
It's so cute and delicate. The meat is really tender.
I definitely get a strong ocean flavor in the shrimp.
Nothing too crazy about it. It does have a relatively strong shrimp flavor, not in a bad way, and it is quite tender.
All right, just to clarify, 5 is average, right?
5 is like average, decent, standard shrimp. I would say this qualifies as that.
I think that's your standard grocery store shrimp.
This next one is extremely special, shipped all the way from Asia. We have Japanese tiger prawns. At an eye-watering $120 per pound, Japanese tiger prawn, or Amaebi, is one of the world's most premium. While prawns are technically not shrimp, for today's purposes, we'll use them interchangeably. Like always, we're cooking 2 of these as a control, grilled over charcoal. I've heard these are some of the best tasting shrimp in the world, so hopes are very high. Now for the non-control, we're gonna attempt one of the most impressive dishes I've ever seen. But honestly, it looks extremely difficult, so let's see how this goes. What we're attempting is a special shrimp pasta, and I'll start by cleaning them up like so, removing the vein. What we're left with is a pretty small amount of actual shrimp and a whole bunch of shells. But given the insane quality of these shrimp, trust me, we will not be letting these go to waste. Okay, time to slice these up, and we're gonna treat half one way and the other half slightly differently. For these here, we're gonna go with a really fine chop, essentially just mincing it up completely, almost into a paste. And that right there should be perfect. Now for the other half, we're also gonna chop up, only this time we're gonna leave it a bit more coarse. So we'll ultimately be left with fine shrimp as well as coarse, just for variety of texture. To the raw shrimp, I'll add olive oil, lime zest, lemon juice, some salt, mix, and we'll reserve that in the fridge. Now let's get started on the sauce, which I have to say is a wild one. We'll start by cooking down all the heads and shells with some vegetables, which might sound weird, but what it does is bring out the oils and some insane flavors. Now deglazing with the wine and some water. We're basically making a shrimp stock right now with plenty of fresh herbs. This is the base of what will become our sauce. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes. Honestly, it doesn't look pretty, but it smells absolutely unbelievable. Now I'll just remove those bay leaves as well as the rest of the herbs. And now we're actually gonna blend this whole concoction up, heads, shells, and all. And we'll just strain that flavorful liquid out. So I know this sort of looks like disgusting muddy water, but I'm telling you, it is absolutely phenomenal. It's like the most true essence of shrimp flavor possible. We'll ladle in some of the broth. We'll throw in the spaghetti, keeping it moving to prevent sticking, adding in more of that broth as required. The goal is that the flavors in that broth will almost absorb into the pasta as it cooks, finishing with butter for a luscious texture, and let's plate. More of that sauce, the raw prawn mixture topped with caviar, and just like that, our Japanese tiger prawns are ready to taste.
That's really good.
Very strong seafood flavor, but not fishy.
Insanely rich, but shrimp rich, not like fatty rich.
The lime zest and the fresh shrimp is so good.
Let's move over to the control to actually taste the shrimp itself. I did not know a shrimp could taste that good.
It's such a deep umami flavor.
Buttery and flaky.
I still don't know if it justifies the ridiculous price, but I am blown away by that shrimp. Honestly, if it wasn't so expensive, I would have gone 10. Like, that truly blew me away. Next up, we have one of the most premium royal red prawns. The first thing I notice is this very interesting exterior. It almost looks like it's frozen or frosted, but it has this very rough, almost textured shell. Per my research, this gritty exterior is due to their adaptation to deep ocean pressure, as royal reds live 1,200 plus feet below the ocean's surface and are commonly found in the Gulf of Mexico and along the southeastern US coast. With our control royal reds grilled to perfection, let's move on. For the non-control, we are heading all the way to Hong Kong. This is one I have always wanted to try, sesame prawn toast. Let's start by just removing the shells. Make a little slice here. Should be able to just pull out. Oh yeah. Save this for Kyle.
Save what for Kyle?
Nothing. We'll add our shrimp to the food processor, followed by garlic, ginger, a little bit of white pepper, soy sauce, finishing with an egg white, and finally some green onion. And we'll blend into a paste. Wow, that already smells amazing. It kind of reminds me of dim sum. From here, it's pretty simple. We have our white bread. We'll remove the crust, kind of forming these nice white bread squares. Now adding a nice dollop of our flavorful royal red shrimp paste. Shrimp side into black and white sesame seeds for some beautiful color. Slice at an angle, and let's fry. As that bread toasts, the shrimp paste is also cooking directly into the bread. I mean, they look so crispy and delicious. I just have a strong feeling that bread acted like a sponge and absorbed a ton of oil. But we're just gonna try and ignore that, and with some green onion over the top, we're all just gonna convince ourselves that this is healthy.
Insanely good. It's crispy, it has nice shrimp flavor, and the sesame seeds crisping over the top.
This is insane. The crispiness, the soft of the shrimp, it's just the perfect yumminess.
You really get those Asian flavors in there, like the ginger comes through really nicely. That is phenomenal. I didn't realize there was this much variation in shrimp. This one almost doesn't taste like shrimp. It's more of just like a seafood flavor.
I'm getting a sweet punch and then like a salty punch and then an overall ocean punch.
Definitely above average. If you like seafood, you'll probably like this one. And we have made it to the one and only Amaebi. Also known as spot prawns, these are some super premium shrimp, and I mean, just take a look at them. Massive like horn on the head and incredibly unique stripes and colors. They're usually eaten raw, but of course for the control, we'll grill them up like usual. I cannot wait to see what a shrimp of this quality tastes like when cooked simply just like this. For the non-control, with a shrimp of this quality, we are of course going back to Japan. It's time for sushi. I'll remove the tail, but don't worry, we will be using that flavorful head as a component to this dish. With the shell removed, it just looks so incredibly fresh. Meantime, we'll drop those heads into some flour, get them lightly coated. By cooking like this, the head should be essentially completely edible by the time it's done cooking. Now we'll carefully butterfly the shrimp. So the thing about making sushi is it literally takes decades to master. As you can see, my form just masterful here. This is how you make perfect sushi. It ain't easy, but someone's gotta do it. Laying that beautiful Amaebi prawn over the top of our sushi rice and plated right next to the fried shrimp head, an absolute stunner.
Dude, that is the most beautiful shrimp I've ever seen in my life.
That's one of those pieces of sushi you either love or you hate. If you love it, it is just top tier.
It's honestly like a shrimp version of caviar for me. I love that.
But keep in mind, that was raw. Let's taste it cooked. It's way more reminiscent of a rich, flaky whitefish or crab than regular shrimp to me.
Might be the best one of the day.
It doesn't even taste like shrimp. It's like we've reached a whole new species.
Oh! Whoa.
No way. This one's definitely better raw. The Japanese tiger prawn was better cooked, so I'm fine with these results. And we've arrived at the world's most popular shrimp. This is white shrimp. This is a super common and affordable supermarket shrimp. They're also the world's fastest growing shrimp. And fun fact, females can lay up to 1 million eggs, which hatch within 24 hours. That is a whole lot of shrimp. Now for the non-control, we're making my all-time favorite noodle dish. We'll start by removing the head, then gently peeling off the shell, just like so. I'll make a little slice right here so I can easily devein. And let's get started on the noodles. Oil in, and we'll get some nice color. Now in with the garlic. The smell at this point is already insane. And in with the noodles. If you guessed pad thai, you are correct. There's just nothing like it, and it should work perfectly with these white shrimp that tend to have a neutral flavor that can be built off of with this aromatic Asian sauce. Finishing with carrots, bean sprouts, and green onions, and a final mix. Topping with some crushed peanuts. Honestly, Italian food needs to step aside. I'd take this noodle dish over anything from Europe every day of the week.
You ever see that clip of Gordon Ramsay trying to make pad thai and the Thai chef is just like hating on his dish?
This is not pad thai at all.
Really good.
You get those garlicky flavors and all those Asian sauces. So good.
Might be a little heavy on the soy, but it's pretty solid. I'd be happy to serve that at a restaurant in America. We're back to tasting like shrimp. The last couple were just like insane, but it's very good. I mean, it's sweet, pretty mild and clean.
Yeah, it's not very oceany. The best way I could describe this is just if I went to the grocery store and picked out a shrimp and I didn't know what I was buying, it would taste like this.
I also like the texture. It's pretty firm. This is something that I'd like with shrimp cocktail or something like that.
Pretty standard, but definitely not bad. We've reached an unbelievably highly prized shrimp from Japan, Botan ebi. Larger than its Amaebi counterpart that we cooked earlier today, Botan ebi is considered even more premium due to its larger size and apparently sweeter taste, but we'll be the judge of that. For the non-control, we're staying here in America and making what is quite possibly the most premium bang bang shrimp known to man. Bang bang shrimp feels like something that would be served at a Chinese restaurant, but it actually originated at a US seafood restaurant called Bonefish Grill. Needless to say, it is not commonly used with such premium shrimp, but I'm excited to find out if it should be. And we'll just throw in some buttermilk for a very quick 10-minute brine. While it sits, let's make the sauce. We got our QP mayo, chili sauce, and a little bit of sriracha. A bit of green onion, and mix. Now we'll get these shrimp into the seasoned flour, getting it all covered, and let's fry. You'll notice I left the heads on, which is not typical with Bang Bang shrimp, but these are just so premium, I really don't want any of it to go to waste. We'll get them into a bowl, covering in that creamy Bang Bang sauce. Now just gently mixing to get it all combined. These just look so insanely flavorful. My mouth is honestly watering as we speak. I'm gloving up for this one.
This looks sick.
Bang Bang mother...
Wait, where are you guys biting? The head or the leg or the bottom?
I'm just going for it all.
I genuinely really like that one. I'm surprised because it's a mayo-based sauce and I don't want like a super heavy sauce on it, but it just works.
What do you guys think of the shrimp itself though, in this format?
The flavor of the shrimp I think is pretty hidden because that mayo sauce and the fried and the crispiness.
Flavor is just out of control. Can I say that it's too tender?
Yes.
A shrimp like this should be eaten raw. It's still very good cooked, but if you really want to enjoy the experience, it's gotta be sashimi style. Clearly a top tier shrimp, but you should probably eat it raw. We've reached another extremely popular shrimp in America, pink. Right there with brown and white shrimp, pink shrimp are one of the 3 most popular wild-caught shrimp species in the US, and you've probably seen them at the fish counter. I'm super interested in seeing how they compare and if there's any differences between them. For the non-control, we're making what is widely considered the most popular shrimp dish in the entire world. The one and only shrimp scampi. And let's get started on the scampi, which I'm sad to find out that despite Italian roots is actually an American invention. This is one of those dishes that's super common at places like Olive Garden and Red Lobster, and it always hits the spot. We'll deglaze with the wine. I've heated up more of that ramen shrimp broth, which we're gonna now add in. Throw in some crushed tomatoes, a little bit of onion, garlic, and black pepper, the Romano cheese. We'll throw in the butter rolled in flour. That's gonna hopefully help that sauce thicken up, followed by some parsley. Throw in a little bit of pasta water. And finally, we'll go in with the linguine, making sure it's very al dente. Thin it out with a little more pasta water and give it a good mix. Throwing on a bunch of those perfectly seared pink shrimp over the top, followed by more shredded cheese. An absolute classic. Time to taste these pink shrimp.
Wow.
James.
So garlicky. I love that.
Thing about shrimp scampi, you can pretty much make it with any shrimp and it's gonna taste amazing.
Let's taste the control to actually experience the pink shrimp. It's nice. Very similar to the white shrimp, maybe a little more tender.
Softer and sweeter. I'm also getting a slight hint of like Febreze.
I got like ocean a little bit.
What is you guys talking about? This to me is definitely closer to like a basic shrimp. Very similar to the white, maybe a bit more delicate than the brown, but I feel like they all fall in the same bucket of like average, but still decent shrimp. A relatively average supermarket shrimp. We're starting to get into big boy territory. This is Argentine red. These shrimp are gaining popularity in the US and are said to be similar to lobster in terms of taste, with a more intense, rich, sweet, and briny flavor compared to regular shrimp. With our control grilled to perfection, let's move on. And for the non-control, we're flying all the way to Texas, and this one is about to get extremely wild because believe it or not, we're gonna attempt to turn this shrimp into bacon. Bear with me on this one, guys. This is something I've always wanted to do. Removing the vein, we have our army of Argentine shrimp all cleaned up. And we'll get started on the brine. So this is the exact same brine recipe I would use to make standard pork bacon. The key is that ratio of salt, sugar, and pink curing salt to ensure it's cured correctly. Now I'll add our red Argentine shrimp neatly like so. More of that cure over the top, patting it in. And this is what they look like. And we'll see these guys in a couple days. Well, we let that one go significantly longer than I originally anticipated. We are 5 days. What are you doing here? You don't want to eat that? We are 5 days into brining our shrimp bacon. Let's check them out. You don't want this. This is not for you. Oh, ow. Let's open her up. I mean, it still smells relatively fresh. There's a very strong, like salty black pepper flavor. I'm just happy to see that they don't appear to be rotten. I will say they do feel very plump. I was almost wondering if the moisture would be completely sucked out of them. However, it is a lot more firm. Don't want them to be too salty, so I am gonna give them a quick rinse. Only thing left to do is get them on a rack. And we'll get them on the smoker. Just like that, it's been an hour and a half. They've reached 135 Fahrenheit, and they're looking pretty awesome. A really nice smoky smell. We're gonna treat these just like we would regular bacon, and while they technically are fully cooked at this point, they still need a nice sear. So after splitting them just like so, we'll get them into a pan to crisp up. Using this weight to ensure caramelization, that is the color we're looking for. There it is, a perfectly cured and smoked piece of shrimp bacon, and there's only one thing to do with it. We of course have to make what is likely the first and last shrimp BLT ever created. It might sound weird, but at least visually, I'm feeling very optimistic about this one.
Max, what am I looking at?
Looking at a sandwich that you're gonna enjoy.
Really weird.
Straight up though, I don't think it was horrible.
It wasn't horrible. I think it was just a little too salty.
It was like eating shrimp jerky on a sandwich, which I'll let the audience decide. Would you guys like shrimp jerky on a sandwich?
There's a reason why regular bacon is supreme. All right, let's try the control. The first thing I noticed is the texture. It's kind of flaky. Kind of reminds me of king crab, actually, texturally.
I actually thought it was like a crab, but in a good way.
It has a really balanced flavor and honestly very rich.
Definitely feels more premium than some of like the more basic shrimp, but not quite at the level of like those crazy Japanese ones. Definitely in the top tier. And we have made it to what is easily the craziest looking shrimp of the day. There's just some insane detail going on with this shrimp. Look at the front. I mean, it's almost like paddles or something. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. All sorts of layers to the wings. Back, we have all these little flippy floppies right here. What is this animal? This does not look like it's from this earth. This is a mantis shrimp. For the control, we'll get it grilled up. It looks more like a giant insect than any shrimp I'm used to seeing. I'm gonna be honest, these things kind of freak me out, but check out what they look like alive swimming in the water. They're adorable. For the non-control, we're making an iconic coastal Chinese dish. As you can see, there's some major spines on this tail here, also along the sides. This is something you don't want to put in your mouth, so we'll start by slicing them off with scissors. That should be a lot better. Now we'll just give these a light dusting with cornstarch. To get a really nice crunch, we're gonna be doing a double fry. We'll start at 300 Fahrenheit for a couple minutes. Now we'll remove, we'll crank the heat, and give it one more fry. That was oh my God. That was a lot more intense than expected. Be very careful if you try this recipe. But either way, at this point, they should be done. And now we'll bring this dish together. We'll throw in the shallots, garlic and ginger, back in with the mantis shrimp. We'll add the soy sauce and the Chinese cooking wine. A little bit of salt, some black pepper, and we'll just toss to combine. I have to say at this point, they look and smell incredible. They've got this beautiful golden brown color to them and this amazing Asian kind of stir-fry smell. Very strange looking meat. We'll have to see how it tastes.
This kind of looks like a caterpillar mixed with a centipede, mixed with a dragon, mixed with like the body of a butterfly.
Crazy.
I love the Asian flavors.
Different than a normal shrimp. You can't really peel it. Flesh is so delicate, you kind of gotta like squeeze it towards you.
But the flavor's amazing. The soy sauce, ginger, garlic, like incredible.
All right, let's try the control.
You have to like scoop it out.
The meat almost evaporates.
Flavor is super interesting. It's almost like lobster roe.
Meanwhile, the texture is almost like lump crab. It's like little fibers.
Yeah, very fibrous. How do you rank this though? Because it's just in a completely different ballpark than a regular shrimp. I mean, that could easily be the most unique of the day. We've arrived at the most expensive and quite possibly the most premium shrimp in the entire world, Carabinero. Just take a look at that stunning red color. Crazy. So it turns out Carabinero is Spanish for policeman, and they're named for their deep red color, just like the Spanish customs officers. These can be confused with other shrimp with red in their name, like Argentine red, but these Carabineros are different and a true delicacy. Getting way out of my comfort zone with the non-control on this one, it's time for paella. We'll start by cooking down the garlic. Now we'll add in the heads. I know it's just the heads and garlic at this point, but it already smells incredible. Now we'll throw in the cognac. Time to flambe. We'll add these heads to this jar here, thin it out with a little bit of water, and let's blend. and we'll pour out all that insanely flavorful liquid to strain. And that right there is all flavor. That is extremely intense. It's like the most concentrated lobster bisque you'll ever have. Next up, we'll need some artichokes, which are these guys right here. Artichokes are honestly pretty wild vegetables. All we need is the inner heart, but there's just so many layers. So I think I actually have to continue removing some. That part right there is that inner kind of furry stuff that I think I need to remove. I'm just gonna work my knife down. Oh yeah, this is like hair. That is not stuff that you wanna eat. Just like that, got it all cleaned out. I'll slice once more for nice pieces like this. Now we'll get all that flavorful oil from before, throw it in the paella pan, artichokes in, followed by the squid. Now we'll go in with the rice to toast, incorporating a bit more of that oil along with some Spanish paprika. So keep in mind, this is my very first time making paella. If you're from Spain and you know how to do this correctly, please let me know how I'm doing down below in the comments. Next, we'll add in some saffron. It's an extremely prized and expensive herb that has some beautiful color. And finally, we'll go in with the water, followed by that flavorful blended shrimp head paste situation right over the top. This should add some crazy flavor. After one initial stir, we'll just let this sit undisturbed to finish cooking. We should be pretty much there. We'll add on our beautiful steamed shrimp, followed by some lemon wedges, as well as some parsley. And I have to say, at least visually, I'm feeling very good about this. I mean, if it tastes as good as it looks, then we're in for a treat.
Oh.
It looks better than it tastes.
It's not your best work, but you tried.
I feel like I just ate dirt.
I have a bone to pick with paella. How do you cook it? Because here's my question. I used 2 burners. I was constantly shifting it every like 30 seconds to try to get even distribution of the heat. I mean, the flavor is not terrible. Can we agree on that? Moving on. All right, we gotta taste these shrimp in their natural form because evidently Max is not Max the paella guy. Whoa.
That's where it's at.
I think we made up for it.
It's like a baby lobster.
It's better than lobster.
Yeah, it's sweeter. It's amazing.
I think that's the best shrimp I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, it had the juiciness and the rich butteriness of a lobster in a shrimp form.
It's like every variable that makes up the taste, it's all in perfect harmony. I'm blown away. Stop talking smack about my paella. I'm never gonna live this one down, am I? If you have the opportunity, absolutely worth trying.
You know what else is worth trying?
Max Jerky. So guys, if you're interested in supporting the channel, this right here is by far the best way to do it. Max Jerky is the reason we're able to make videos like this. So if you enjoy them, the best way to show your support is through Max Jerky. Right now, we have all sorts of brand new, amazing flavors, brand new products. Use code SHRIMP25, get 25% off your order, and we appreciate the support. I mean, this thing is closer to a lobster than most shrimp you'll see. We've made it to black tiger prawns. These mild and slightly sweet shrimp are very commonly produced in Asia, but as of late, they seem to be becoming more and more popular, at least in supermarkets near me. Now for the non-control, you guys have seen this in stores before. It's shrimp cocktail. But here's the thing, it's usually expensive and generally not very fresh. Here's how to make it way better at home. For our premium black tiger shrimp cocktail, we'll remove the shell and devein. Let's get our water starting just at room temp. We'll just season it with salt, along with some aromatics of your choice. You can kind of be flexible here. I'm throwing in some tarragon and some citrus. And now again, while that water is still not very hot yet, we're just gonna add in our shrimp like so, gently bringing up that heat, allowing them to cook super evenly without getting rubbery. In the meantime, this is how to make cocktail sauce. It's just ketchup, chili sauce, horseradish, Worcestershire, lemon, hot sauce, and some salt. That's it. That is honestly one of my absolute favorites. If you like horseradish, you gotta try that. And with that, our shrimp should be done. What we'll need now is this ice bath. Let's see how they look. The ice bath completely stops the cooking process, keeping them nice, plump, and not overcooked. And just like that, we're left with some beautiful black tiger prawn shrimp cocktail with the homemade sauce.
I love shrimp cocktail. Got way too much sauce on that
What are
one.
you doing, Kyle? How much sauce do you add?
Enough.
Got a nice bounce to it, great texture.
I love shrimp cocktail. I will say the shrimp itself is nothing special for me. The flavor is pretty average, and with the shrimp cocktail, it's great because the sauce really shines, but the shrimp isn't the star.
Let's taste it on its own just to like really see. Shell and all. Ooh.
Shrimp is good.
It's still just pretty average for me. Nothing really stands out.
I do think it's better than the pink, brown, and white though, slightly.
I agree. It's like right in the middle.
Not bad. Perhaps the most unique visual of the day. Next up, the langoustine. Also known as Norway lobster or scampi in the UK and Europe, it's technically not a shrimp, but has such a cool appearance with those giant claws. You already know I had to include it. For the non-control, we're making a staple of Southern cuisine, not your average shrimp and grits. Start by removing the tail to access that beautiful tail meat. Looks like a little mini lobster tail. Just crack right down like so, and hopefully it'll just come right out. That looks perfect. All right, with our cornmeal almost done, let's get started on the topping. Into the bacon grease, we'll add the onion and the peppers. Now we'll go in with the bacon and a little bit of garlic. And now we'll go in with the shrimp. While that finishes up, we'll throw in some butter and the cheese. We got some good color. Now we'll go in with the stock. And let's assemble those buttery and cheesy grits. On with the shrimp, garnishing with one little seared langoustine, a bit of parsley, and some lemon for good measure. And this is actually my first time ever having shrimp and grits.
I had grits before once and I was very underwhelmed. Wow.
That's ridiculous. I think from a dish perspective, that's the one I'm most impressed with. I always figured grits was just extremely bland, but in this context, like with the bacon, all those flavors, it's actually phenomenal.
I love all the textures with that bacon, with the creamy grits, the texture of the langoustine. It's very nice.
Let's taste the langoustine tail meat by itself.
It's like the tail fringes of a lobster. Not super flavorful, not bad, but not like the greatest thing in the world.
Completely different than a lot of the shrimp we've had. Yeah, like the meat to shell ratio is not ideal with this one. Whoa.
I just think that the supermarket pink, white, brown were better, so I think this is just a little bit below average.
We have made it to the biggest of the day. This thing is an absolute beast, the African Tiger Prawn. For reference, this thing is literally the same size as Sophia's new cat. Everyone say hi to Cleo. Hey, Cleo. And we'll grill up the control. I still can't believe the size of this thing. And for the non-control, we're going back to Japan and of course, taking this one to the next level. The first step in this abomination of a sushi roll is to remove the shell, just like so. Now we'll just lightly dust with some flour. And I'm gonna just skewer this up just to help it maintain its shape. Time to fry. This here is our tempura batter. I'll start by just drizzling some in the oil. Just getting it all mixed around. Drop in the shrimp, making sure to get it all nice and covered. And in with the shrimp. From here, we kind of spoon the batter onto the tempura for an additional layer, leaving us with some insane texture. No clue if this is actually gonna work, but next step, let's turn this into a dragon roll. On with the rice. Fortunately, I have a lot of experience making sushi rolls. No, I do not. It's tough work, but somebody's gotta do it. We'll throw on some sesame seeds, and we'll flip it over. We'll add the cucumbers. Truly have no idea if this is actually gonna fit, but we got our whole shrimp, and I'll try to wrap it up. Come on, baby. Just get it all tight. Let's see if it's stuck together. Tight squeeze, but I think it actually worked. For a classic dragon roll topping, we have some sliced avocado that will layer directly over the top, forming a tight seal, a bit of tobiko, some spicy mayo, sesame seeds, and that sweet eel sauce. And that right there is quite the cross section. That was a crazy bite of food, but I'm shocked to say, I think there was too much shrimp in that sushi roll.
The ratios were all off.
It's all about a nice balance. The thing is, the flavor was really good on all the different parts. There was just so much shrimp in there, you couldn't really get that perfect bite that you want with sushi.
I do love shrimp tempura rolls, but this one, I don't know if I loved it or hated it.
All right, let's taste this thing in its natural form. That's pretty crazy.
It's more like lobster. It's like a tail, it's so big.
I will say the flavor fades really fast. You get that sweet punch in the beginning. It's really just a texture thing by the end.
I mean, needless to say, extremely fun to eat, but from a flavor standpoint, we've definitely had better today. Ooh, that's pretty high. Kyle was wowed by the size. Extremely fun to eat, but in terms of flavor, not the best of the day. Thank you all so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to support the channel, please check out Max Jerky. Use code SHRIMP25 for 25% off. We appreciate the support, and we'll see you next time.